This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, I think we've kind of stopped letting people in, so we'll get started here. Welcome to the second presentation in the series for trekking through trail communities. Today, we're going to have two people from Ice Age Trail Alliance talking to you about our Southern Trail communities. So myself, I'm Claire Finucane. I'm the property steward at Ice Age Trail Alliance. I'll just be monitoring the call today. So if you have any questions throughout it, you can type them in the chat and I'll make sure they get answered at the end. We'll also take questions at the end if you'd rather just ask verbally. Today presenting, we're going to have two people. So Miranda Murphy, she's our field engagement intern. I told them to come up with fun facts so I could share those with you. So for Miranda, we have that she's recently been our star mammoth. We got a new Monty costume recently. So Miranda has been the one beneath the costume recently. We also have Mara Hanley. She's our Vista from AmeriCorps working in communications, and she will also be presenting today. And for Mara, her fun fact is that she has the most decked out fall office right now. So if you do stop by the office anytime in the next month, you will see plenty of fall decorations upstairs in Mara's office. So I'll turn it over to those two to get started today. And like I said, if you have any questions, just type them in the chat or wait till the end when we have time for that.
Hi everyone, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Alrighty, beautiful. Okay, just gonna, oops, there we go. So today we'll be talking about the southern region of the Ice Age Trail. So that includes Lodi, Cross Plains, Verona, Janesville, and Milton. I believe I got everyone. And kind of the way this presentation is broken up is that Miranda and I, when we were updating the itineraries this year, along with Amy, our outreach and education manager, we kind of picked out a few favorite things that we saw for each of our trail communities and wanted to highlight those as places that we think you should visit while you're going through our trail communities during the Mammoth Hike Challenge. And then we also reached out to some local representatives from our trail communities to kind of share with us their local favorites and hidden gems. So I believe we have someone from Lodi today who will be here to kind of share their favorites with us. And then for those who couldn't make it from the trail communities, we'll be sharing kind of the list they gave us on their behalf. But yeah, I think we can go ahead and get started. Claire introduced us. Also shout out to Claire for coming up with the name for this presentation. So that's Claire's fun fact. But yeah, so we can go ahead and start with Lodi.
I think that's my cue. I'm Heidi LaHue. I am the executive director for the Lodi and Lake Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce, and we are lucky enough to have 10 or so miles of beautiful trail here in our area. I specifically work with the businesses, but it's all directly connected. So I'd love to just give you a walkthrough of what Lodi looks like. If you start on the end where the old primary school used to be, very central to Lodi, downtown Lodi, you'll start in Veterans Park, and that is one of the many parks that we have in our community. And there's a lovely bridge that takes you across Spring Creek and lands you right in our new kiosk area. That's in Doctors Park. It's just a small area right off of the highway. You can see the new kiosk there and the bench that was just dedicated in Lodi recently. And it's a lovely way to look at the maps and find information about the trails and where you're headed. If you hike right up that small hill, it'll take you to our Main Street. It's called Main Street, and it is the heart and soul of the city of Lodi. As you meander down Main Street, you'll find lots of fun things to do that keeps you right on track with the trail too. So tons of different retail and dining options. Buttercream Bakery is another hot spot. People love to stop. On Wednesdays, our Historical Society is open as well. So if you happen to be hiking through Lodi on a Wednesday afternoon, pop into the Historical Society and learn more about Lodi. We've been here since the mid 1800s and there's just so much history. Some of the buildings are still original too, so it's fun to learn about those. As you walk down Main Street, you'll see that picture there to home of Susie the Duck. We are a community that is very proud of Susie, and we incorporate her into one of our largest celebrations of the year that's held the second weekend in August, called Susie the Duck Day. But this bridge will teach you a little bit more about who Susie is and why she's so important to our community. You'll end up in Gores Park. It's another really important park to our community. It follows the creek all the way down. It is absolutely beautiful, part in Lodi. So many times you'll find kids and fishermen in the creek. I know crawfish were real popular for my kids this summer. It's a beautiful park. It's also home to our free public pool. So in the summer months, you'll see lots of families enjoying the park down there. And then that creek sort of winds its way all the way down and out through Lodi. If you take the highway all the way out, that will lead you to some of the most beautiful trails in the area that we have outside of town. Outside of Lodi, you'll find Gibraltar Rock. I know that's one of the more popular areas to hike here in Lodi. The views are incredible. There you'll see some absolutely beautiful pictures of Gibraltar Rock. The tree is famous. It's in so many photos, and the rock formations are it's easy to find those in a picture, easy to stand out. And then, of course, the Merrimack Ferry is that way as well. You'll see a picture of that. It is the only free ferry still in our area. You can travel across the river to Merrimack or to the Lodi side, enjoying ice cream on both sides. I know I'm sort of new to Lodi, and one of the funny things I learned moving here was that there is sort of this ice cream rivalry, like which side of the river do you like better? My family is split right down the middle. So when we go for ice cream, kids go on one side and the parents head to the other. So it's always fun to ride the ferry and learn more about it too. So if you come to Lodi, there is a lot to do here. I would recommend taking a couple of days. We have lots of lodging here in Lodi. Right, the Lodi Valley Suites is right in town here. We also have lodging right up by the interstate, and of course all of our wonderful campgrounds in the area too. Trinan Farms is another fantastic fall adventure while you're here in Lodi to go out. Their award-winning corn maze is jam-packed every weekend. It's a fantastic place to go. We have weekly downtown farmers markets that have started up. Of course, Lodi is known for their agricultural fair that's held in July. And then we just hosted our big fall celebration to the BBQ. So our community calendar right on the Chamber's website is full of events. In October, you're welcome to jump on as you're planning your Mammoth Hike trail miles and find some of those, and reach out anytime if I can help coordinate things to do in the area while you're here hiking too.
Thanks, Heidi.
Yeah.
Miranda, do you want to share your picks for Lodi now?
Yeah, there's a couple more here that we've got on the slide. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, so you've heard about the Merrimack Ferry, Susie the Duck. One thing that I also found was the Lodi alpacas uptown. So they have really cool clothing, from like socks to hats and gloves, or mittens for the winter. They look very cozy. And then the Lodi Sausage Company and Meat Market. It's been kind of a favorite around HQ to like buy stuff from them and then have a grill out. So they have some really awesome sausages and snack meats, and have won a bunch of awards around Wisconsin for their products. So that's another great pick if you're stopping through. And the Merrimack Scoop, you can stop and get some ice cream before you go on the ferry. Slacks, Jams, and Jellies was very cool. It was a couple who just started making them out of their house and selling them door to door, and now it's grown into a bustling jam business, and they're very good. Sometimes I see them in the stores, or sometimes I'll go and get some myself. Lucky's Bar and Grill on the Lake is really fun. They designed it to look like an old lighthouse. Their venue is really cool. They have live music often and themed events going on. So you should keep your eye open in the month of October to see if there's any events worth going to. Buttercream Bakery is also a really great small bakery in Lodi. They seem to have some really yummy baked goods, sweet baked goods, and then it's like a cafe. You can also get coffee or tea or anything like that. Okay, now we're on to Cross Plains. So Crossroads Coffee House is actually a business partner with the Alliance. So if you go to Crossroads, you may see staff from the Alliance because we frequent there very often, as Mara and Claire and I would all know. They've got some really great coffees. Their baked goods are delicious. That you can also grab some lunch food if you're there. It's like we have a little stop and go area, which is really great. Montague's is also another local favorite. And also a favorite of the Alliances. Every once in a while, you'll see us hanging out there on their back patio. They have really great, your typical pub food, so burgers, sandwiches, beers on tap. Kent Botanicals is also in this, I believe, in the same building where you find Crossroads. And they have a lot of natural skincare and like beauty products. So if you're ever looking to up your nightly routine skincare game, then you should head over there. 1909 is a wine bar. They also have a very cool venue and a gift shop, and so you can do wine tours, wine tastings. So if you want to stop in and just have a try of all the different wines, you can stop in there as well. Enchanted Valley Acres is another great family-friendly spot for the holidays of the fall vibes. They have themed corn mazes that they do every year. They also have pumpkin patch. Obviously, they have this big slide for kids, so it's just a really fun time to just be able to spend time out and about with your family, pick some apples, buy some pumpkins, drink some hot apple cider. And then lastly, we have the Ice Age Trail Alliance. We're based in Cross Plains, so you should always stop in, say hello. We love when people come in. You can go hang out in the garden. You can tap the metal Monty. Usually we have office dogs around, so you can come pet some puppies as you're going through the trail. So we'd be happy to see you.
Awesome. So next we have Verona. So Verona has two really great cafes. So the first one is M+1 Cafe. They actually are a bike shop and a cafe. So they started out as a bike shop and then added the cafe on later. And the cafe serves coffee, beer, because it's Wisconsin, and wine. In Dane County, I think Dane County is very bike friendly and there's really great biking paths. So it's nice that you can go on a hike and then also go on a bike ride. So you can both hike and bike to the cafe. Grace Coffee Company has multiple locations kind of in the Madison area, but they actually roast all their coffee in Middleton, so it's locally roasted, which is really awesome. I used to work at a coffee shop in high school, so I turned like a tiny bit of a coffee snob, so I love that. They also have really great bakery, and of course they have kind of their own office dog, so I had to include a picture of him. And then Wisconsin Brewing Company is a local favorite, so endorsed by the local representative from Verona. They have like a huge outdoor space, so you can have a picnic out there. You're able to bring in your own food, which is super nice. They're also dog friendly, which is another bonus. So I feel like there's nothing better than like going on a hike with your dog and like stopping at a brewery afterwards. They have live music there regularly, and they have their own event calendar on their website, so you can check that out and kind of like coordinate your hike in Verona along with like events going on at Wisconsin Brewing Company. And they're located like pretty much right next to the Costco, so breweries and Costco are the two of my favorite things, so pretty good combo. The So's Ear is a really unique spot, another local favorite. It's kind of a like yarn and crafting shop plus a cafe. So you can like buy some yarn, knitting needles, crocheting materials, all of that, and then also grab like a hot drink and go and sit outside. They have this really big patio area, and the store is located right off the main street in Verona. So you can go and knit outside. They have hot cider in the fall, which, you know, hot cider and knitting sounds really amazing. So that's a unique spot there. And then there's the Prairie Marine County Park and Dog Park. So that's actually located, I think, pretty much right off the trail. And on the Ice Age Trail, we require people to have dogs on leash, but if you do want to take your dog off leash, you can bring them to this dog park. They have a 79-acre off-leash dog park there, so that's really great. So you can kind of, you know, check that area out and walk around there with your dogs. One of our coworkers actually goes there pretty regularly with her dogs, so it is a really great park. And then some additional local favorites is Epic. Epic is a really unique spot as well in Verona. They have a huge campus. So if you have a little extra time and you're also willing to do a little extra walking after all your hiking, you can do some self-guided tours around the Epic campus. The cool thing about Epic is they have like buildings with different themes to them. So they have like an Alice in Wonderland themed building. And they also just have a really great like grounds with awesome landscaping and stuff. So another thing you can check out, I've had people say they've like gone to the Epic campus and spent like 3 hours walking around there and like not nearly seen everything. So this could be like a multi-day thing. Oh, and actually Monty was just at the Verona Farmers Market today. So these are some very recent edition pictures. So that's always fun. Monty made his debut, I think, like a week ago. So this is like only his second time out and about. So very exciting. And then we have Janesville. So Mocha Moment is a favorite coffee shop there. It's kind of situated like in this wooded area. So after, you know, hiking parts of Janesville, which are kind of more in the downtown city area, you can kind of like escape into like this, you know, wilderness oasis almost. They have a really nice outdoor space and garden that's like kind of goes back into the woods a bit. They're bike friendly as well. I went to school like fairly close to there, so I had friends that had been there before, and they tell me that's like a must stop in Janesville. They have good coffee and food and stuff. And then 808 Cheesecake is an award-winning cheesecake bakery. A lot of their cheesecake is kind of inspired by traditional Hawaiian flavors, which I think is super cool. Another great thing after a hike is like a sweet treat. It's nice to kind of like reward yourself for getting all those miles in. So you know, you can eat a cheesecake while you're there, bring one back to the family. And then we also have Gray Brewing Company, which is actually one of the nation's oldest family-owned breweries, which is pretty amazing. They started back in the 1850s, and they have beer and soft drinks. A lot of their products are located in stores around like the Dane County area. So you can stop at like a supermarket like Woodman's, and they will have their products there too if you want to bring something back with you. Just like a little souvenir. Also in Janesville or at least not far from it, is a double staircase segment. That's a 1.mile segment of the Ice Age Trail that features like this really beautiful stonework steps along the Rock River. So that's spectacular views of the Rock River. The Rock River is a lot bigger than I expected it to be. So when I first saw it, so I always enjoy checking it out. And then the Lincoln Tallman House is in Janesville. And that's kind of this iconic historical mansion that the William Tallman family lived in from 1857 to 1915. They have tours there. It's an event space, kind of an interesting history to it. Apparently Abraham Lincoln stayed there overnight as a guest before he became president. He was kind of touring a few places in Wisconsin and doing speeches and stuff. They kind of had to like really convince him to stay with them. And then I was reading online like a story that he kept Lincoln kept his shoes like outside his room, and they like took his shoes away. So he had to stay, like he ended up missing like his train and had to stay longer at the house. So kind of a funny story, but also just a cool place to visit. I was a history minor in college, so I like love stuff like that.
All right, up next we have Milton. Okay, so the first one up, we have Maddie Strong Studios. So it's a art studio that holds a large array of different options depending on both your interest and your skill level. So they have workshops from anything to beginners to open studio time where you can work on your own things. They have pottery, they have painting, drawing, probably anything else that you could think of. So even if you just have time to stop in and check it out, or if you do have time to like do a workshop, seems like it's a really cool place to just kind of let your creative juices flow. Maybe like draw a picture of the woods from when you've been out hiking. Farmhouse Finds is a very eclectic little shop that I found. It's kind of like a home decor shop. You just can get like little trinkets to add around your house, but they just seem very funny and like quirky, and it just seems like a good vibe to like walk through there and just see what's there and maybe grab a little souvenir for your time. Milton House Museum is really cool. It is the last certified Underground Railroad station in Wisconsin. So it was part of like the Underground Railroad to be able to like move slaves help slaves out of slavery and escape from plantations and such. And then it also houses the Rock County Genealogical Society. So that's like a really cool place if you want to learn more about local and national history. You can go there and do tours and check it out. I think somebody in the chat said that it was really cool as well. North Leaf Winery is also another vineyard and winery that's in Milton. And so you can do wine tours and tastings. They also have very fun events, like you can go there at night, I believe, and you can like drink wine and cheese and eat cheese in the dark, which I guess would be amusing to some people. I don't think it's supposed to be spooky themed. I think it's supposed to be like very nice ambient kind of vibes, but I don't know. It seems like it would be more of like a Halloween thing to do to me. But that is something that you can do at the North Leaf Winery. And then we have Natalie's Parkview Cafe, which kind of just has your typical comfort food. So they have everything from French toast to sandwiches, burgers, so breakfast, brunch, lunch kind of food, but it looks very good and definitely looks very comforting, especially if you've been walking like up to 5-10 miles that day. I mean, I would go there and probably try to eat everything on the menu and like fail, but I would still try. And then the Cone Zone has a bunch of different soft serves and Dole Whips. So they have weekly specials that rotate every week. So very, very delicious. The pictures of their soft serve looked insane. They're just very big and very colorful. And then we have Cafe 26, which is another really great small cafe. You can go and get your coffee fix-ins or buy some baked goods, homemade baked goods. So that's another good stop.
Awesome. So those are actually all the trail communities for this region of the Ice Age Trail. We're kind of using this presentation to get you excited about the Mammoth Hike Challenge. So we encourage you to sign up if you haven't already. You're also able to still sign up for the whole month of October. And our itineraries that we create are a great way to help you kind of plan your hikes. Also, a lot of our trail communities are doing special events throughout the month of October to kind of help you get your miles in, find family-friendly activities to do. So in Lodi, they have their Fall Colors Run presented by Fontana Sports, which will be happening on October 8th at the kind of Gibraltar segment. And then in Cross Plains, we have the Cross Plains segment guided hike. So that will be led by one of our staff members. It's part of the Cross Plains, their chamber Oktoberfest that's going on. And that will be, you'll meet at the headquarters, our headquarters in Cross Plains, and we do have a special offer for members only. We will have shuttles available for them for individual hikes that they can do. In Verona on the 5th, there's the Verona Farmers Market again. Monty will be there as well. So if you didn't make it out this time, you can still see him again. In Dane County on October 15th, just for all Dane counties, so that would be Cross Plains and Verona. There's the Dane County Hike-a-thon. So that kicks off on the 15th. There will be 2 hiking distance available for people to participate in both Cross Plains and Verona. And then in Milton, from October 1st through the 9th, there's the On Your Own Story Walk, which is being hosted by the Milton Public Library. So they will be kind of having a children's book kind of put along the stories like segment. So I forget what the book was called. I was just looking at it, but actually everything in here has like hyperlinks to it. So this will be downloaded and you can go to the hyperlink and it'll bring you to more information about the events and also the businesses we talked about. But anyways, so that's a great thing to kind of like kick off Mammoth Hike Challenge with and also bring your kids to. And this is just like a tiny taste of all the events that are going on in October. So we really encourage you to check out our events calendar, which we are updating really regularly. Every day there's like a new event going on in October that we're putting on there. So you can go to ichtrail.org/events to see our full event calendar, which there's a variety of different events. And we'll also pretty soon have a blog article coming out that will kind of help break down those events as well. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you all for coming and thank you for Heidi for presenting about Lodi. It's always really nice to kind of get like that insider perspective. Again, we encourage you to check out the 2022 trail community itineraries. Use that as an excuse to kind of get your miles in and also check out these communities and support local businesses. If you're specifically looking to kind of see what there all is in Lodi, Cross Plains, Verona, Janesville, Milton, we have the itineraries linked here, and there's a full list of like restaurants and shops and attractions and even like places you can stay at if you're looking to kind of make it a longer trip. But yeah, oh, and actually one more thing. We encourage you when you are stopping in these trail communities to let people know that you are hiking the Ice Age Trail. Sometimes at businesses, they have special discounts during the Mammoth Hike Challenge. And also it's just a great way to kind of spread awareness about the trail. Sometimes people don't know what the trail is, so it's nice for hikers to come and kind of share like what they're doing. And a lot of people are really interested. They love hearing about that and kind of learning that that is something that they can do and available to them. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Miranda and Mara, for the great presentation. And I know as we were going along, we had like one question in the chat about the Merrimack Ferry, about how often it runs. And based on their website, at least, it looks like it's around April to November. And besides Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. for refueling, you can take the 7-minute trip across the river. So if anyone else has any other questions, you can unmute now and ask. I know we had a lot of good conversation in the chat too about recommendations or places people like, so that was great. Okay, otherwise I think we'll wrap up the session. There are 2 more, so check the website for details about those. We have, I think, Southeastern and then the eastern side left as well. So if you still want to hear about those trail communities, take a look at those and register for the Zoom calls. But otherwise, thanks for joining us tonight and have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us in Lodi, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.